Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between performing calm and being calm, but your body can. And that's why you feel fine in public, but you collapse the moment you are alone. You're not learning emotional regulation, you're learning emotional performance. And the difference between the two is the reason why you're fine in public, but you collapse in private. Most people believe they're working on emotional regulation. They're reading the books, doing the breath work, taking the pause, and they are getting better at something. But it's still not regulation yet. It's still performance. Performance means I can appear calm when I need to. Regulation, on the other hand, means I am calm because my nervous system has capacity. Hi, and welcome back to this channel. I'm Vibhuti, your performance and authority coach and trainer. I believe that authority is not personality, it's nervous system training to build capacity. And that's exactly what we do together on this channel. We are talking about performance and regulation in this video. Performance is the image, regulation is the infrastructure. And here's the problem. The world rewards the performance. Your boss doesn't care if you are internally regulated. They care if you look composed in a meeting. Even your partner often doesn't see your suppressed tension. They see your controlled tone. Social media or public platforms do not value your private dysregulation. They value your polished performance. So you optimized for the wrong thing. You learn to look regulated instead of being regulated. And now you feel the pressure to maintain that image because the image is what gets rewarded. Let me show you what I mean. On the left side, we have performance, what others see. This is your controlled tone, your measured responses, your composed body language, your social approval. On the right, we have regulation, what you actually feel, your internal capacity. This is your nervous system capacity. The absence of suppression cost, your private truth. Now watch this. Your performance gets rewarded, while your regulation costs you. The cost comes in terms of time, effort, no immediate validation. You've optimized for the left, but your body actually lives on the right. Here is what is happening in your brain. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for executive control, can temporarily override your emotional state. It can suppress the activation. It can modulate the expression. It can create the appearance of calm, but it cannot change the underlying arousal. And here's what most people do not know. Your body is keeping a second ledger, one you've never seen. Let me show you what's on it. The arousal lives in your autonomic nervous system, especially the balance between your sympathetic branch, which is threat, and the parasympathetic branch, which is safety. When you're truly regulated, the autonomic nervous system is in a flexible equilibrium. You can access activation when you need it, and you can return to the baseline when it's not needed. When you're performing regulation, your prefrontal cortex is suppressing autonomic activation. But the activation is still there. Your heart rate variability drops. Your cortisol remains high. Your body remains in a low-grade threat state even when your face is showing calm. This is called allostatic load, the cumulative wear of maintaining a state your nervous system is not actually in. And here's the critical part. Your brain is keeping two ledgers. Remember, I mentioned this in the beginning. One ledger tracks, did I look calm? That's your prefrontal cortex. It gets immediate reward. And the other ledger is tracking, am I safe? That's your autonomic nervous system. It gets no reward, only depletion. When these two ledgers diverge, you get the experience you are describing. Pressure to appear regulated rather than be regulated. Because appearing regulated gets rewarded, but being regulated takes up energy and it receives no external validation. So your brain optimized for what the environment reinforced. You didn't fail, you actually adapted. But that adaptation has actually cost you a lot. I will tell you when I realized I was performing calm. I was in a high stakes conversation, the kind where everything matters, and I was nailing it. Calm tone, precise language, no visible reactivity. But internally, I was in a controlled flood. But I held it because I had trained for this. The conversation ended and I got the outcome I wanted. And then, the moment I was alone, my body collapsed. Not dramatically, not like I fainted, just the performance ended and the suppression bill came due. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, not moving. This wasn't because I was processing, it was because my nervous system was running on overdrive and now it was demanding rest. And I realized that was the first time I wasn't proud of my regulation. I was exhausted from my performance. That's the moment I started asking myself, what would it feel like to be actually regulated in that conversation instead of appearing to be regulated? And the answer was uncomfortable. There is a moment when performance becomes suppression, and most people do not recognize it. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let me show you the system. This is the loop you are running right now. The loop starts with identity. I am someone who stays composed. Remember, identity generates a thought. I need to appear calm right now. That thought meets your internal state. Tension, activation, but it's suppressed. So your behavior becomes controlled. Measured tone, composed body language. That's performance because there is no alignment with your internal state, and that behavior gets rewarded. Social approval, professional success, safety in your relationships, and that reinforcement loops back into your identity. See, this is who I am. This loop works. It's getting you the outcomes, but it's not regulating your nervous system. It's training you to suppress activation in exchange for rewards. And the more you run this loop, the more your identity gets tied to performance and not to capacity. Now, let me show you what true regulation looks like. A different identity. I am someone with nervous system capacity. This leads to a different thought. I can feel activation without suppressing it. The emotion still arises, but now it is witnessed. It moves through. It's not suppressed. Your behavior in turn is authentic. It's not controlled. It's not collapsed. And the reinforcement? Internal coherence. No suppression cost. This loops back to the identity. I have capacity. While the first loop was external validation, the second loop is internal truth. Neither loop is bad. Both are adaptive. The question is, which one are you training? The second loop, the internal truth loop, will feel less controlled. It will look less polished. It would cost you some external validation that you had built your identity around, but it would also cost you less energy. It will leave you intact afterwards. It will be true. That's the trade. And I'm going to give you one question that's going to tell you whether you are performing or regulating. This is the question I asked myself. It's uncomfortable, but it's precise. Ask yourself, if no one was watching, would you still regulate like this? If the answer is no, you are performing. If the answer is yes, you have capacity. So here's the truth. You are not broken for having learned performance. You learned to survive in an environment which rewarded image over truth. That was intelligent of you. But now you are in a different place. You're asking a different question. Not how do I look regulated, but how do I become regulated? And the answer is you stop optimizing for external validation and start training for internal capacity. You stop asking, did I appear calm? And you start asking, am I calm? And when the answer is no, you don't perform your way out of it. You build the capacity to hold it without suppressing it. That's the shift we are looking to get at. From performer to practitioner, from image to infrastructure, from external validation to internal truth. If this landed, subscribe to this channel. I go deeper into these patterns every week, and I help leaders who are invested in their growth and want to go deeper into these patterns and protocols through my program. The link is in the bio. If you know someone who's performing their way through life and paying the cost in private, send this to them. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.